Welcome to the show, everyone. Today is episode 115. I am your co-host, Brian Bacchus.
I have returned. I am Jamal Smith.
Hey, everyone. Good morning. I'm Toni Bailey Rains.
And we make up the treacherous three. Just playing.
We should
We could
play some treacherous
yeah.
Yeah, just do it with the three. A T and three.
when the basketball players, when they be up there, like, yeah, threes, man, threes, homie.
Right. I'll be like, y'all stop with them signs. Well, good morning, everyone. We're having a kind of special, non-special Toni Talks segment today.
Wow, we got pictures and everything now.
We are just talking today. I didn't bring a guest on because we had a robust conversation yesterday with Zaire Calvin. And so, I'm a researcher. Brian sometimes says the sleuth, which is fine. And he is as well. And so
Encyclopedia Brown.
I was like, you know what? We're going to make sure we find out and get some information for everyone because, again, we always try to have actual factual data and information for people. And so yesterday, he did a lot of sleuthing. I did a lot of sleuthing on some of the bills. And I literally just searched for all Senate bills and all Assembly bills that have to do with wildfire relief in California currently. And found quite a few. Only found a couple with Sasha Renee Perez, who's our senator for our area, but found something with John Harbedian. I'm going to pull him up in just a second. Actually, who wants to pull stuff up and show it? And I can call
I think what we should do is do the announcements
first,
and then once those are done, because we can get into meat and potatoes of everything, because
this is
going to get the real nitty gritty.
Yeah, it may take a minute with the bills, and people may have interaction questions and things like that. But we want to read off some of these bills because there's quite a few.
And you guys need to know what people are making decisions about your lives.
So. Yeah,
word up.
So you can contact your rep if it's not
right. Take it away, Smith.
Here we go.
Yeah,
we're going to jump right into it. I'm glad to be back live and direct. So we have the support locations at Altadena Community Center. That's our local one, 730 East Altadena Drive. Monday through Friday, they're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're closed on weekends. I do need to get a new slide so I can remove the closed on Juneteenth one, but definitely check that out. So if you're still trying to get through the initial stages of recovery, this is the location you want to go to. Oops. The next one is the LA County One Stop Permit Center. Is at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210. So if you're at the stage now where you're looking to move forward and start getting your home rebuilt and all that kind of stuff, this is where you want to go to start getting those questions answered. They have walk-in hours from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30, and you can set up an actual appointment either as an individual or in a group on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 to 12:30 p.m. or on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon. You can also set up appointments with Southern California Edison on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to noon. To set up an appointment, you go to the website recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding/1-stop-permit-centers. And again, for those who didn't do anything related to the debris removal or those who opted out of having the Army Corps of Engineers do the debris removal, you have until the 30th of June to completely remove the debris from your property. Otherwise, the county may declare it a public nuisance. They may then go ahead and clear it and send you the bill. And if for some reason you don't pay it, you might get a lien on your property so that they can recover their funds. So go ahead and take care of getting that debris removed by the end of this month. And again, we have Cal Assist Mortgage Fund. It's designed to help folks who are displaced from the fires. You could potentially get 3 months of mortgage payments up to a maximum of $20,000. The funds never have to be repaid and it's free to apply. And just so you know, the grants paid, if you qualify, go directly to the mortgage servicer. So you don't touch the money, it goes straight to the company who's servicing your loan. And you could be eligible if you have a primary residence which was destroyed or is uninhabitable due to a qualified disaster from the 1st of January 2023 through the 8th of January 2025. You must own and occupy the home with up to 4 units on the property, and you do have to meet the program limits. When you do apply, you would do so online at calassistmortgagefund.org. And certain things you need for preparation. You would have to have your mortgage statement, bank statements, utility bill, homeowner insurance, or FEMA claim, as well as proof of income. And you would actually apply. There's a link that says apply online. So again, calassistmortgagefund.org. One last thing, the grants are going to be awarded to eligible applicants as long as the funds are available. And once the funds have been awarded, no additional applications will be approved. Do want to reiterate that there is a free lunch at the library program currently underway at the Jefferson branch and the Villa Park branch. They're available Mondays through Fridays from June 9th until the 15th of August, 11:30 a.m. through 1:30 p.m. And these meals are for children ages 0 through 18, and no registration is required. There's also the free medical and mental health clinic provided by Eaton Health Village, and this is located at 1280 East Washington Boulevard in Pasadena. That's again, Monday and Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. For questions or setting up an appointment, you can go to reach out to 951 595 7032. There's also today from 6 to 7:30 a virtual workshop with Project Hope to discuss the mind and body impact of the crisis. So you're joining them for a workshop that will explore how trauma and chronic stress affect both helpers and survivors. Utilizing self-assessment tools, you learn how to recognize early signs of overwhelm. Um, you would register at the QR code listed on the screen or on the flyer. And then there is the Eaton Fire Community Meeting for tenants and families. Join LA Fire, Justice, and Teamsters for a panel discussion around total losses, displacement, the process of getting the money you're owed from Edison, and the power of collective effort. There will be opening remarks by Chris Holden, and then the panelists will be Michael Leone, Brandon Lamar, and Jonathan Gardner. This is actually going to take place on Wednesday, June 25th at 6 p.m. It's going to be located at the Teamsters Hall, which is 2050 Lincoln Avenue in Pasadena. You can scan the QR code to RSVP, or you can go to the website, the short link, AltadenaTalks.org/LA Fire Justice Events. And when you go there, you actually have a list of events that you can attend. You can select just one or multiple, and you'll be registered for them. So we do have We Out Here every Wednesday from 12 to 3 p.m. at Fair Oaks Burger. This is located at 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. And again, Fair Oaks Burger has reopened. They had their grand reopening last weekend. And you do need to have proof of your residency in order to participate in the things that they have for We Out Here. They have fresh fruits and veggies, shelf stable goods, clothes and shoes, hygiene products, and much, much more. And should you be interested in donating, sponsoring, or partnering with this event, please reach out to Miss Juicy Little at gmail.com. Let me go back to one that I had skipped because I put it in the wrong location. Also on Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m., there will be a Zoom event where you actually have a chance to talk to the LA County assessors, Jeff Prang, who we had on the show last week. He's leading efforts to help fire survivors like us navigate the tax system and get the relief we're entitled to. This is your chance to hear directly from him. So again, it's Wednesday, June 25th, 8 to 9 p.m. Pacific time on Zoom, and you can go to efsurvivors.net/events to register. Sorry, I had to skip that. All right. I know. And then B forwarded this to me. That's pretty cool. Soul to Soul Solutions presents a free pop-up jazz at the Paseo Summer Series. This is this Thursday, June 26th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the courtyard. And there will be a special guest of Wayne Lindsay and friends, as well as DJ Brandon 5.678. Interesting. It's jazz, salsa, uh, and much more. It's at 300 East Colorado Boulevard, Pasadena. Yeah, that was
I
interesting.
like that. I thought that was a website at first, and I looked at it. And said,
Well, at Brandon 5.6.7.8. Yeah.
but you know what
Yeah.
that is, right? 5, 6,
Mhm.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, nice.
But that's his site, his link. That's dope.
That's right. That's put on by Paseo.
Yeah, man, I'm Brandon
Association
5678. That's 5678 to you, brother.
with Jazzy Jams for Empowerment. So very, very cool.
That's family.
Yep.
Courtney.
So here's one of many things happening Saturday. So Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., there is a Healing Together, Our Children's Mental Health After the Eaton Fire. It's an event at Pasadena City College at Crevelling Lounge, located at 1570 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. It's put on by Senator Sasha Perez, Renee Perez, and staff will be on site to provide state and legislative resources. You can scan the QR code to register or go to senate.ca.gov/mental-health.
I thought you said they'll be serving steaks. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, for the kids.
I did not. I did not.
know.
That would be
rough.
really cool, though, right? That would be really cool. So I found one of many flyers for the Dina Art Fair, which is also on Saturday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. This particular one is showing or showcasing that Rhythms of the Village will actually be there. There's going to be multiple businesses at this art fair. It's going to be located at Alma Fuerte Public Charter School, which is located at 524 Palisade Street in Pasadena. So again, this is going to be a nice event. Go ahead and show up and support this.
Look at
Nice.
Palisade and Altadena on the same page.
I know. I saw that too. Palisade Street. I was like, oh wow.
Oh yeah, that is crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all
When you were
noticed
first
that.
introducing it, I was like,
I
nah,
said,
Palisade Street.
exactly. Puns were coming.
So there's a day of play. So come join the children day of play. It's also Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also at PCC, 1570 East Colorado Boulevard. Parking is available in parking lot 4. This is there'll be a toddler area, big games, arts and crafts and activities, snacks and beverages, bubble station and free play. There's also going to be free backpacks that will be given away with filled with fun and educational activities. So learn more about this and save the children by scanning the QR code down below. I'll try to have an actual short link a little later in the week. There's a lot going on at PCC.
Save the children.
Yeah, they get quite busy.
That's right. So Michael Hagan's a tribute to our city is actually going to be performing at Loma Alta Park, also Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. So join us as the Altadena native Michael Hagan's plays musical tribute to our great city. This should be actually a very nice event. Let's
Yeah,
see
he
what
was
else we
playing
got.
at the Historical Society scholarship.
Oh, was he?
He was
Mhm.
providing
Just
background
playing
music.
some smooth jazz
Yeah,
in the
it was for
background.
20 minutes in there. Everybody got to eat to some music. It was
There you go.
nice.
Makes it go down better. Yeah.
Mhm.
So also Saturday, there's a virtual workshop from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So join LA County for the workshop on Resilient Rebuild Resource Guide for communities in the unincorporated LA County recovering from the Eaton and Palisades fire. It's going to include an overview of the resource guide and the information and resources for planning, designing, and constructing a high performance building more resilient to fire risks. So you register now by scanning the QR code or going to lacounty.pw /rebuild resources. Oh yeah, we have another one. So there's a community day Sunday, June 29th from 9 a.m. to 6:30. It's presented by the Georgina Frederick Children's Foundation. It's a special event. It's all day. You can explore the garden using a variety of different scavenger hunts and make a wish for the community and tie it to the wish tree. Um, from 9:30 to 5:30 p.m., you get to learn about seed dispersal, soil science, wildlife, and arboretum history and curiosity carts throughout the garden. You also get to take a closer look at arboretum plants and insects at the microscope table. And then from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., there's raptor visits. So I guess a bunch of dinosaurs is going to show up. No, I know they're
Hurrah!
dinosaurs. And then while supplies last, you get to take home a free packet of poppy seeds to help support Californians' pollinator population. And you can scan the QR code for this. And when you scan the QR code, what you're doing is you're picking a time slot to actually go. And I did check this out, and a lot of the time slots had been taken. So go ahead and check this out and register as soon as you possibly can if you're interested in this. And
I
that's
remember when
it.
I was in the 4th grade and we used to take trips to the Arboretum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. It's right around the corner for me right now, and I
I
need to
know.
need to take advantage of it from.
If you got allergies, do not go there.
I
Or
don't have
just
to go for the peacocks
Zyrtec
though.
up or whatever.
Right.
Zyrtec or Claritin. Make sure
Yeah.
you have it before you go and on you.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to go for the peacocks, but when we were in Altadena, we had plenty of peacocks up there, and then obviously living in Arcadia,
They'd be on
we
your
got
roof
tons
all
of
the
them.
time.
they were in
Yeah.
our yard like every day last week. It was ridiculous.
They get on the roof,
A little
play.
honking, and man, they got messy poop. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is it the same
Reminds me
colors
of
as
them.
their tail feathers?
Yeah, darn near. It's definitely colorful. It's ridiculous.
And those are the
So-
boys. Those are the
so-
men.
Yeah,
Ew.
in the wild kingdom, the men are the one who actually have all the bright colors because they're trying to fight for the attention of the
Like,
the
girl,
ladies.
you know you want this over here.
Yeah,
Stop
watch
playing.
how
You see me
I
flashiness.
flaunt it. Watch how
You
I
All
flaunt
the
it.
see these colors.
flashiness, huh?
Yeah, well,
My
that's why
name
they
is
call it
Lenny.
peacocking.
The
Yeah, I'm a
peacock.
peacock.
Oh my God.
I know a
My
couple-
name is Lenny.
And I got
I can't with
plenty.
either one of y'all. I
You want to
cannot.
shake a tail feather? You want to see me shake a tail feather?
Hey,
Watch me slide on in here.
there is something I put in the WhatsApp, Jamal. There is a
Mm-hmm.
conference. Somebody just texted that to me. He actually texted me last week too. But there's something in Pasadena tomorrow. The Solar
The Developers Energy Summit.
Evolve. Yeah,
Oh.
it's an energy summit for solar people. It has to do. It's my cousin, and he texted to me, but it has to do with energy, sustainable alternatives. Like how now you can get your windows and the window panes themselves are basically solar panels.
Yep.
And so they're having this tomorrow at 10:30. If anybody would like to go and find out some alternative energy options and learn more about some solar stuff, there's off-grid, microgrid solutions, smart building integration with the glass panes. A lot of it all over the world is already having it, but where now they're building with your windows are solar, right? So that
Yep.
you're literally, instead of having panels on the roof, any sun rays or whatever come directly into your windows, and it still goes to the grid or to your battery or whatever. So he was telling me about it last week. I was like, all right, send me the info. So I just got a text a little while ago. So there it is. And if anybody wants to go, I'm sure Brian in 2 seconds will do a short link and put it in the chat because Brian's really good.
I don't know about 2 seconds, but did you send it to me already?
Yeah,
it's in WhatsApp.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put it in the private chat too.
Okay. I say 2 seconds because that's how quickly you get. Oh, see,
it's not that.
Oh, the link itself isn't long. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
not that long.
So yes, tomorrow morning at 10:30 on Green, and anyone that would like to go and learn more about solar solutions or alternatives, especially since everybody has to rebuild with solar, here's some information, and there is a summit. So I thought it was in the evening. I had told him I was going to go, but at 10:30 in the morning, I will not be there because I will be on here.
Developers here. I'll do this. Hold on. Energy.
And then I want to give a couple shout outs. One to Brian Bacchus. We are on episode 115, which coincides with 115, January 15th, which is Brian's birthday. So this is like Brian's birthday show.
Which was actually the day before we started this show.
Yeah, he started the day after.
Because remember, Jamal, I was going to start it. I said, should I do it on my birthday? He said, nah, man, enjoy your birthday. Mm-hmm. And then we did it the next day. So actually, tomorrow's episode culminates when we started the show.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
He's crazy, man.
We so French.
And I'm going to give my parentals a shout out. Today is the
60th
anniversary.
Longer than any one of us have been alive on this podcast.
You said longer than?
Any one of us that have been alive on this podcast.
Yes. I'm not quite 60, but 65 years in the
game. I said they've been married longer than any of us have been alive.
I know. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm not quite 60. Everybody said you was not quite 60.
See, y'all, this the shenanigans we got to go through. But anyway, happy anniversary, Jal. Lord have mercy. Al and Jackie Bailey. I combined your name, Jal Bailey.
Happy anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Bailey.
Like Bennifer.
Right, Jal. Because I be calling her Jackie Girl sometimes. So it came out Jal and Aki. Jal and Jackie.
I'm making a shirt.
Jal and Aki. Her name's Jackie. His name is Al. I had mixed up names and stuff today.
No, if you did it like P and P, it'd be A Aki.
Right. Right. But anyway,
hey Ron.
That's amazing because people don't do longevity marriages a lot anymore. People be divorced after a year or two or
and that's what we were talking about offline earlier while we were getting.
Oh, there goes my mama laughing. Yeah, Jackie, Aki.
Most marriages lasted a long time in Altadena because they already knew they were home. This is where I'm going to raise my family. This is where I'm going to live the rest of my days. Yeah. And so they stayed together. And I knew a lot of families like your mom's that I would go over their house for Thanksgiving and all kind of stuff. Oh, you're welcome, son, but don't be eating up all the cheesecake like you did last time you came.
Oh, and let me tell you something. You couldn't even come to my house without my mama practically stuffing you. She's like, you want something to eat? You'd be like, no, I'm good. You sure? Then here goes some, even today.
Still gonna put it in front of you just in case.
As soon as you walk in, they'll be like, you want a water? No, mom, I got a water right here. You want something to eat? I'm making sandwiches. I'm like, no, mom, I'm good. You sure?
I'll start coming over your mom's house.
Be like, here, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna be right there. You change your mind.
And if you got some of that meatloaf, Miss Bailey, I'll take some of that too.
And a few minutes later, it'd be gone.
There were 4 of us, but we always had a friend over or something, and then family, from LA, they would come spend the night, especially Rose Parade time. We always had lots of food because 4 kids or a family of 6, where we shop at Costco now, they shopped at Fedco baid in the day. And so
I remember the staple bags.
Hello, right, an abundance of food. And so she was going to make sure you did, and we're that way. I ask people all the time, you want something to eat? And then my son's friends.
No, you go beyond that. You plan luncheons at your house with meetings and make
I do, and I
like
cook
gourmet.
too.
Like, can I just be over there just to film the conversation so I could be eating in the background or something? Because
I love
I
to
was
cook. I
so
love to cook and I love to
upset
bake.
that I couldn't partake. That fish was so golden brown.
Let me tell you, that was some orange roughy. And when I tell you it was so daggone good that day, and I did the grits but I've told you guys, y'all come one day. We'll film a show here and go live.
All y'all gonna see is us going, man, yeah, so, hold on.
You see what my mama said?
Look,
Right.
like, come on.
Well, we're gonna have to film from Mama's Kitchen. That's the next episode.
I'm telling you, there or my kitchen, we're gonna feed y'all for sure. But that's just the way we are, and we're generous and givers, and we want to make sure that people, you don't ever want nobody coming over your house and they leave and say, dang, they didn't offer me nothing to eat or nothing to drink or whatever. I mean, that's
we're
not
all
why we
taught
do
that.
it.
Come on, definitely.
Yeah.
We're
So,
definitely taught that.
just like we're taught, don't ever go to somebody's house without taking something. Right?
Something, yep.
If it's a dinner, you take a bottle of wine
and walk in and greet the parental units immediately.
You better, because if you do not walk in and say hello, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, you gonna get turned around and might get cussed out, fussed out.
Demerit.
Wait, three of my friends, when my mom was actually letting us have people come in the house, three of my friends came in. The first two said, "Hey, Miss Backus, how you doing?" The third one didn't say nothing. She grabbed him by his shirt and pushed him right out the door. And he goes, "What's going on?" And they said, "You didn't say hi, dummy."
Right.
So now you can't come in ever.
Yeah, you always got beverages. Yeah, we got beverages and food. I got a little refrigerator outside on the deck, and my son's, friends know, let me go, because it might have wine, beer. It's always gonna have waters, everything. And I guess, that's how I was raised. So I just do the same thing. But so we're gonna talk about some of these bills today, y'all. And we're gonna go a little bit deeper into, I think we were finishing the day talking about California Assembly Bill 851.
Before you jump into that, let me just commend you all yesterday, because I was doing my parental thing and trying to jump in on the show and everything, and I was hearing stuff and it was good, and then it was getting robust, as we had indicated before.
Robust.
It could have gone so many different directions, and I feel that given the direction that we originally wanted for this show, I think it went the right way, because it allowed us to further clarify our understanding of topics, right? And to explore it a little deeper, which is why we're taking it the additional step today to dive in and make sure that we see what is written, and then say, hey, look, this is our interpretation, and more importantly, like what B did, hey, let's hear it from the horse's mouth. So he played that video from I think it was Sasha Perez, and heard it from her words. So I applaud you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't on the show live, but I was proud to see the direction it went, because it's like, look, ultimately we are the same community. We ain't gonna agree on everything, but at the same time we got to be open to know that we're not gonna be right all the time, and we definitely got to just dig deeper so we can get the right information, because this is an important situation we're all in. So
my name is Jack Webb, right? My name is Jack Webb. Just a fact.
Jack Webb. All right, cool.
Just a fact.
Cool. So giving y'all props.
I'm Jackie Webb or something.
No, you're like one Adam 12 when they had the one cop, the good cop, bad cop.
What did you say last night? WWJD.
Oh, so you know how they got what would Jesus do? The little lanyards. So I changed it to what would Jamal do in this situation? Because I remember I was channeling him yesterday, Tony. I'm like, what would Jamal do in this situation?
You were like,
he'll go for the facts. Let's just go.
Well,
run the tape, Jim.
Bring this back. He was not Brian After Dark. He was Jamal Mellow. Because you guys know I'm super, not that any of you two aren't super passionate, but I do, and sometimes I get heated, right? Because y'all know.
But we both can't be heated.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, let's get it. That's how I'm gonna be with it, right? Like, well, let's get it.
Look, so as she started reading, I just popped it up there so that, what's coming out of her mouth is right there. So you can't say that, no, that's not the truth. I'm like,
right.
I just want to make sure that everybody's informed.
Do from the very beginning is give accurate information.
Of course.
We don't like having inaccurate information, just like when we brought the assessor on. When I spoke with Jeffrey Prang, I had been saying, based on the understanding, it's this and this. And he clarified it. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Because I've been saying this. So I've been wrong. I don't ever have a problem saying I'm wrong. I don't ever have a problem saying, hey, you guys, this was this yesterday. It was changed. Now it's this. Oh, matter of fact, Mom, in the chat, say whether or not you could see this. Because we were at lunch and stuff yesterday. And she said she didn't see what you were popping up. You know how we pop up the comments? She could hear me reading them.
Oh, so you know what,
she
Jamal?
Can't see them on the screen.
What we got to do is she might not be going on the ones we're looking at. So Instagram, it will pop up to show it from other places. But when we do these from now on, we got to just hit all. Because if we just do one, it won't do it on YouTube or it won't do it on the other one. So, like for instance,
when we make a post, when we make a comment,
So like if I were to do this to put the title, then it would go to every last one of them.
Correct.
And then we can pop that one up to show it.
That's why I did.
We just gave y'all some insight on how we run this show in the background.
In the background,
so don't be trying to steal our ideas.
So, for example, the thing that Toni had,
like, hey, I heard you reading the comments, but I couldn't see them. And I said, well, we popped them up. She said, and I don't know if we were popping them up too fast or what, but.
Was this yesterday or the comments or the slides?
The comments. So as we were reading what was being stated by Zaire, I was reading them. I don't know if we were popping them up, and I was reading them quicker.
Actually, we weren't, popping them up because you were popping them up at first, and I was off the screen going to get the legislation stuff. So you started reading them, but you didn't pop them up because that's usually my job.
Okay. So she was like, I didn't see some of them, and then I was popping them up. She said she didn't see any. So anyway,
well, that's what happened yesterday. See what happens without Jamal being here? We don't have the. You complete us, Jamal, when you're not.
It's all three of us, for real.
You're the Jerry. You're my Quan, Jamal. You're my Quan. Remember that from Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, she said, I see that today. Thanks. Okay.
Well, I like this format because anybody that comments, it shows their picture now, so they don't just remain anonymous. Well, if it's on Facebook or your account on YouTube, it's going to show your logo now. I stole that from Don Lemon. How his is set up. He uses the same platform for his YouTube.
You had that full red one, and yesterday I changed it. I like this one with the black and a little bit of red better because you had.
Remember? Oh, I don't think you were on when I showed Jamal all the different ones.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And well, this was Don Lemon special. I stole that one from him. I was like, well, I like that.
Why do you guys have your names in all uppercase? Oh, so you know what? Brian talks in all uppercase all the time.
But you can read it. You can't read it on. Yeah, I do.
Gotcha. Yeah, he talks in all uppercase all the time. That's why I don't even know why I asked that question.
Screaming in my mind.
Exactly.
I'm screaming in my mind all the time, even when I'm asleep. Get up, boy! You got something to do.
We
got time for sleep. You sleep when you're dead, boy.
Upper and lowercase, and you guys are.
That's what my grandfather used to tell me. He said, "Get up, boy. We're gonna go hunt this rabbit." I'm tired, Grandpa. You sleep when you're dead. Let's go.
Well, we're going to dive into these bills. And the one we're going to first do, let me just tell you guys, you can always go directly to the California legislation site and pull up any of the bills that you hear us talking about. And that website is legislature.
Jamal, pop that comment up while I put this in the banner.
.gov.
All right.
And then there it is. See, you can go there and then over to the upper left, and I'll do a share or a present.
Okay.
But to the upper right, I said left. Lord help me.
To the left.
Right. I hope it shares the right screen. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, we don't want to see none of your extras.
Oh, I don't have no extras. No,
All
I'll
your
share the one in front
delectables.
of me, right?
No, I'm messing
I'll
with
share what's in front of me, and I didn't want to do that. Okay.
Oh, that
So-
shrunk down. You got to put it back to where it was. It was bigger. Nope, that really got small.
No, what I did was put it on oh dang it.
Well, you could take it off here and just take us off and just let it on cinematic layout. Then it'll, but you still need to full screen it.
I have it full screen on my, hold on my what I did, I made it wide because I'm on a 32-inch monitor.
You want it, oh yeah, see, you overcompensating for the whole screen. It can't handle that.
You know what? I cannot.
You can't handle it. There you go, right there. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. I made the window smaller. I didn't have it now out with the entire 32-inch monitor. Okay. So anywho, this is the site, the California Legislative Information. Over here to the right, under quick search, it has bill number, right? Or bill keyword. But if you know the number, AB, SB, whatever, you can pop it in. So SB 581, SB 663, or any of those you can pop in. And the reason that I'm telling you all that is because you can easily go to your Microsoft Copilot, your Gemini, your Chat GPT, whatever you use as far as AI, and say, what bills, because this is what I did, what AB, California AB bills are current regarding the 2025 fires, right? And then it's going to bring them all to you. And then you find that bill number and you go and you pop it in right here. Am I in the wrong one? Can you guys see? Hold on.
You're in
this one. Okay. Yeah, I moved my cursor to another tab. And you pop it in right here. And then when it comes up, like this one I looked for, this was 2324, but that was SB 610 fire prevention. So if I go to 581, because we were talking about that, oh Lord, hold on, the session expired. If we're talking specifically about that, AB 581, right? Here's the assembly bill. It was introduced February 12th, but once you're here, you can go to the text of it. You can look at the votes on the bill. You can find the history. You can find the bill analysis. You can go everywhere, right? Today's law as amended, compare versions. You can find the status on it. So it went to, in the Senate, it went to, I'm sorry, in the Assembly, it went to the first, it went to the committee, the second, and it passed. It's still in the Senate, which is above, and it's the red. It needs to go first, second, third, pass. So I believe it's July 1st that it's going to go. Let's see, Senate third reading, Assembly Bill 624. Oh, that's today that it was filed. But you can literally look at the last actions, the last 5 history actions. So here's 611, read second time, ordered a third reading, right? 610, it went from committee, due pass, the ayes 13, the noes 0. That was June 10th. On May 7th, it was referred to committee on G&O. And then in Senate, first read, but it'll tell you everything. And then you can go and you can look at everything that's happened. Here's some comments to the authors of the bill. Oh, shoot. That you got to log in. But you can look at everything so you can read it. Another thing that you can do, if you're not still sure after you read it, you can go into your Gemini or chat or whatever. And when you do that, give me 1 second, I'm going to share something else. You can ask it to give you a summary. And I have a summary for everybody to make it just easier, because sometimes people are just really not sure, right? So where is my Adobe? Hold on. Here it is, right here. Okay. So I brought it up. Is that large enough, guys? Oh, that's going to be too big. How's
No,
that?
that's perfect.
Okay,
Right there.
perfect. And I enlarged it to the full screen.
Yeah, and it's
So
really
specifically on the California Assembly Bill 851, referred to as AB 851, we're going to just go through it. It's 2 pages. And I wanted to highlight for you. I had AI summarize it, because when you summarize it or have it summarized, it's a lot easier for people sometimes in reading. And if they're not politically savvy or have never read through a bill, they can be confusing. So since AI is available to everyone, you can do this and it can summarize and help you out. So what Gemini's brought back when I asked it to summarize this bill is that AB 851 is a significant piece of legislation aimed at protecting homeowners in specific parts of LA County who were impacted by the January 2025 wildfires. So key provisions of it are that it's to prohibition on unsolicited offers. The central tenet is to prohibit buyers from making unsolicited offers to purchase 1 to 4 family residential properties in designated zip codes within LA County that were affected by the 2025 wildfires. It is designed to prevent predatory real estate practices where opportunistic buyers must try to acquire properties at below market rates from vulnerable homeowners recovering from disaster. Obviously, your home burned down, everything that you have is lost, you're vulnerable, you're emotional. People will try to prey on that, right? One thing that I like that I didn't, when I read through the bill, that I didn't get summarized so just in my face was the written attestation. So the bill requires both the buyer and seller to sign a written attestation before the property title is transferred, confirming that the sale was not the result of an unsolicited offer. And this attestation is to be attached to the deed when recording the transfer.
I think that is amazing.
Exactly.
We know this craziness happened right away after the fires.
Exactly.
People were being phoned or approached, in person.
That's right.
Talking about trying to buy their property.
And also the right to cancel. Anybody knows when you sign a contract? No, I won't say that. I'm sorry. A lot of people may not know. Generally, when you sign a contract, there is a right to cancel, and it's within, I believe, 72 hours. And for selling, Jamal, since you've been in real estate, that is the case, right? It's a 72-hour.
Yeah, when you sign a contract to get a mortgage. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this one, because it's a sale, the sellers have up to 4 months, which is what I think amazing, because someone can't come in, buy your land, and for 4 months, really that prohibits them from doing anything, right? Because if they start immediately grading the land and trying to build and somehow have an end to get a permit, but they do it in month 3, you have up to 4 months. If month 4, you say, no, I want to cancel. I've decided, I've talked to people, I'm going to sell my land. Any money you've given me, I've given back to you. I want to cancel. That really helps protect landholders, because you're emotional right afterwards. It's traumatizing. This is almost 6 months in. We're still emotional, right? Mm-hmm. So if you do something in month 2 and by month 5, you're like, oh no, I really need my property. I wish I wouldn't have sold it. I think I am going to rebuild, right? You literally have 4 months to cancel, which is a very, very good thing. There are penalties for violations that are within this bill. So an unsolicited written offer made by a licensed real estate professional would be considered a violation of their licensing law, potentially leading to suspension or revocation of their license. Okay. Trust me, realtors just had that new thing happen where their sales are kind of, what they get commission is less and all this. They don't want to lose their license because they go on unsolicited. Also, provisions because of violations can result in a misdemeanor charge and a civil penalty of up to $25,000 per violation. And then the Attorney General, a county council, city attorney, or DA can bring a civil action to enforce these provisions. What were you going to say, Jamal?
No, I was just going to comment. I mean, just that last part. It's not just 25 grand. It's 25 grand per violation. Because
Right.
if anybody's actually going to take the chance and do this, they're not just going to talk to one person, right?
Correct.
So they're going to reach out to multiple people. So this could be a huge impact to them. So that's crazy. But that's the professionals. So, and I know this bill is covering them specifically, but there's some others who have cash, and I wonder how that would potentially affect them, that
Well,
aren't going to be licensed professionals.
And the misdemeanor charge, because say
Yeah.
they do it to 10 people. Well, by the time you get 10 misdemeanors for this, they might decide they're going to bump it up and make it a felony because you continuously do it.
If they let you get to 10.
I know, but hey,
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of people
crazy.
don't report right away. Just like when
True indeed.
there's been a lot of price gouging on rentals. A lot of people didn't
Oh,
report. Now they are, and the DA, we have a new DA, and he's going after people, right? So because they are violating law, and some of the laws are coming into play as a result, right? Once people do this. And then this, I highlighted in the screen because the urgency statute and sunset clause is in here, which is important, right? AB 851 is an urgency statute, meaning it took effect immediately upon being signed into law. Well, we know that because it hasn't fully passed, it's not signed into law yet. So if it passes the Senate, because it hasn't passed in the Assembly, and the governor signs it, because he could veto it, but if he signs it into law, then it will go immediately. So it will cover retro stuff, as well. But it's temporary, and it will automatically be repealed January 1, 2027. So it is in effect 2 years from the date of the fire, which was January 7th, 25, to January 1, 2027.
And personally, I hope they return to this and extend it a little longer, because we know that it's going to take a little longer for some folks to even make the decision on what they're going to do with their property, and then definitely to have a rebuild. I'm hoping. That's just my 2 cents. I wish they'd push it back at least a year, preferably to 2029. But hey, that's just my 2 cents.
Well, I think by then, Jamal, this is my thoughts, but I'm wondering if the thought is, if it automatically repeals in January 2027, between if it fully passes and the governor signs it in January 1, 27, they would have enough time to flush out a complete law that could go into effect right around then. Because this is only for LA County, specific areas, meaning Palisades, Altadena, Hollywood Hills, the area, Sierra Madre, stuff like that. Right. So I would think, since it's a state urgency statute and clause, this is my thinking, y'all. I don't want nobody going saying Toni said this is it. That's all.
Well, Toni said it.
Right. This is my thinking, which I always tell y'all, this is the way my brain functions. I would think that they're doing this as an emergency because it's a reaction to what has happened, but they have enough time to flesh it out and make it apply statewide, because we had Paradise Fire, we had Tubbs Fire, Sonoma County, we had Bobcat, right? So we want to make sure everyone, I would, if I were in the Assembly or the Senate, I would want to make sure, okay, cool, we got this emergency statute, but over the next couple of years, let's try to work it out so it would apply anytime there's a disaster like
that. Makes sense. I hope that is the case. I really do.
Not sure, but I would hope that, that would be as well. Because
the sad part is there's going to be more fires, and unfortunately there's going to be more communities that are lost over time. And this definitely needs to, be addressed.
Matter of fact, I saw something this morning from Edison saying there's going to be a lot more blackouts this summer because we're expecting an extremely, obviously dry. We didn't have a huge winter this year, but dry. And anytime that the winds kick up high, it's predicted that they're high, they're going to start shutting stuff off.
Oh, they're going to be sensitive to that. They're going to be shutting stuff down left and right.
Absolutely. They're not about to be like, oh, shoot, we're in trouble,
Shoot, if too many people sneeze at the same time, they're going to be shutting off power.
Right. And so affected areas, again, are specifically named, these certain zip codes in LA County that are covered by it. Cool. Let's see. And then the impact of it, I thought was very interesting too, because sometimes when you are reading through a whole bill, you're not going to necessarily get the key points because you're reading through, and what we showed had all that red lettering and then crossed out, and because it goes through committee and they'll say, no, we want to change this. It's different iterations, but
Right.
this is the portion that passed through the assembly. Still waiting on the Senate. So it's not law yet. It hasn't passed yet. But the impact of it is to provide crucial protections. The primary impact is to provide crucial protections for homeowners in wildfire-stricken areas of LA County by prohibiting unsolicited offers and giving sellers a right to cancel. It aims to prevent exploitation, right? Those that are vulnerable and being pressured by people to sell for less than their fair market value. Allow time for informed decisions, which is a cancellation period given a cooling off period. Like if you're buying a house, you have a certain amount of time to cancel, not 4 months. But this, because you are going through emotional trauma, anxiety, distress, all of that, you cannot necessarily make a decision wisely like that. It's giving you those extra 4 months. Support community recovery. By mitigating predatory practices, it contributes to a more stable and equitable recovery process for communities affected by the wildfires. And then deter unethical practices, right? Those penalties, whether it's a misdemeanor or $25,000 per, the potential for them to lose their licenses and have civil and criminal charges, and $25,000 per, aim to deter unscrupulous individuals from engaging in exploitative behavior.
So that part explained, the part I was concerned about. One was talking about, the professionals and their license could be, at risk. But then the other part said unscrupulous individuals, where that's where the monetary thing really is can impact them. So that's okay. That's good. It's not just the professionals; it's the other individuals as well.
I redacted it. I didn't mean to redact it. Sorry.
No, that's
good. I clicked redact instead of highlight. I should have just highlighted it, but it's all good. Anyway,
so in essence, yeah.
Oh, I did not redact again. Adobe. Sorry, y'all. In essence, AB 851 is a direct response to concerns about predatory real estate practices that can emerge in the aftermath of natural disasters, particularly wildfires, where residents may be under immense stress and facing significant financial and logistical challenges. So that is this one in particular. There was another one, and what I'd like to do, I'll stop sharing for a minute. We can all pop back on. Y'all have to do that. Where are we? Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you. Let's see. I have to pull up another screen, y'all. I got too many screens. We all always have a bunch. Brian, we got to get him back on board because he lost screens and stuff. But is looking at the bill, like when we say, hey, go here or go there or whatever, right? You can literally pull up the site that we went to earlier. Look at that. Okay, I got like 40 windows open or tabs, so I had to find it. But you put in any of the bills that you want. Oh, this is what I wanted to do too, is show my Gemini window, because Brian likes chat. I use chat, but I like Gemini a little bit better. I've used Microsoft Copilot. It kind of gets on my nerves at times. But there's a bunch of AIs, right? There's AI.io. There's like so many.
Perplexity, that we use. There's Claude.
There's exactly.
Lord have mercy.
And depending on what you are using it for, that's the one you're going to go to.
Yeah,
because I'm a Google user, I always have a Google window or two open. I know I could quick do a Gemini, and it generally gives me what I want. But if I wanted to go deeper, I can also click deep research and it'll go deeper. But we're not going to get all into AI lessons today, because we all could be like, okay, and use this and do this and do this, because we're just like that. Anywho, what I do, and you guys don't have to jump off, is, oops, let me close it back, is I'll go into my Gemini and I put what Senate bills regarding the fires are there. I was generic. I didn't even do a really good prompt on this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it brought up all of them. And so whether or not they are current, and then when you go to it, it will tell whether it was from 2020 or 22, 23, whatever. But I brought them all up. And in parentheses, you can see who it was authored by, right? Because it says co-authored by Cortese, but McGuire, Grayson, Allen, Perez. So I could say, give me all the ones that are only Sasha Perez or Harbidian or whatever, our representatives, right? So, but it had it broken down into 3 sections. The first one is wildfire response and firefighter support. The second one is community hardening and prevention. So it shows right here, 616, Insurance Community Hardening Commission. And who was it? Rubio, Cortese, and Stern. And then this one, Keeping Communities Safe from Wildfires. Who authored it? Durazo, co-authored by Cortese. California Wildfire Mitigation. So I like that Gemini broke it down for me into the different sections, section 1, 2, and 3. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me see. Section 3 on here was wildfire recovery and resistance protections. And then it tells basically what it is, but then I would pull out the bill here, go back to the other tab, which was the legislation tab, right? In that link that they put up, which is up in, where is it? Pop that up real quick. This one, which is legeinfo.legislature.ca.gov. After I pulled it, I went directly there and put this bill number in, SB 610. And it's going to tell me everything I need. Here is one that Sasha Perez was on, Sasha Renee Pernet, Senator Perez. Provide property tax relief following the 2025 California wildfires. One of you guys, could you bring up SB 663 so we can take a look at it and see like the status or whatever? Because just like the
which one?
663, Senate Bill 663. Is that the one that I think it is that Jeffrey Prang talked about, our assessor talked about? And I don't know if it was Allen or McNerney. I thought it was Schultz out of Burbank who he helped co-sponsor one. But this is another one. So I haven't even had a chance to look at this yet to see what the status is, if it's been shot down, if it was voted on, if it passed in the assembly or anything. But this is—
You already pulled it up, Jamal, or what?
Yeah, it's on there already.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. This is an easy way to look at it and say, okay, what is this? That specifically in the text had provide property tax relief following the 2025 California wildfires. So with that,
I'm on the status page or tab. You want to go to the actual text itself, or?
That's fine, but I'm going to ask
history.
Gemini to break it down for me.
Okay.
Do we have picture-in-picture on here?
Oops. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
What was this? Senate Bill 661?
This? 663.
663. Sorry. Okay. So I could ask Gemini. You could look at it, but see where you look at it and scroll, Jamal, to different
The
parts.
bottom one is good.
If something is the line goes through it, that might confuse people to see things highlighted in red, and then they'll be like, why is that, right? So I'd go back to Gemini and say, okay, and it gives a breakdown like I just walked through of the key provisions of Senate Bill 663. And I'll just read for you from Gemini, even though he's showing you the votes on it and all of that. We'll do it simultaneously. The breakdown is there's an extended period for base year value transfer. There's an extended time to file for reassessment. There's the assessor's discretion for the damage date. There's a welfare exemption for damaged properties. And then the urgency status, just like in the other one, if it is passed and signed into law, then it will be immediately and will be operative until January 1st, 2033. So that one's a much longer one, Jamal, which is great, right? Because we don't know how long it's going to take people to rebuild. So they need those kind of exemptions. So on that particular one, do we know the status? Do we know if it's been voted on, passed anything, or? Okay. So the assembly the first, and it's gone on to committee. The Senate passed it already. Went to the first reading, committee, second, third reading. Wait, I might be wrong. No, under Senate, it says that, right? Pass. In Assembly, it's first and second. First reading and onto the committee, correct?
That's what it looks like.
Glasses on. I took them off because I always have a glare, and Brian's like, we can't see your eyes. Can't see your eyes. Last amendment date 4/2. Scroll down. It usually tells the last 5 actions. Referred to Committee on Revenue and Taxation on 6/9. So that just happened. Assembly first read. I can't see because my face and picture is right there instead of on the side.
Here, I'll change it real quick.
Put it to the side.
Put it to the side. There it is. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Thank you. So, yeah, so that's correct. Do pass. The ayes means yes. 6 of them, and the noes were 0. That was May 23rd. And then it was read the second time, read the third time in Assembly, read first time at the help desk. So it passed 39-0 in the Senate. It's now in the Assembly, and it's referred to Committee on Revenue and Taxation on 6/9. So this one also is in progress. And maybe that's why the one with Jeffrey Prang and I believe it's, Assemblyman Schultz out of Burbank. Maybe that's why that bill didn't pass, because this one might have been a little bit more robust. I'd have to find that one. That's 1253. We'll look that one up as well. But, and this one is in the process of passing. So it, we just have to see. But when it says extend period for base year value transfer for properties substantially damaged or destroyed by the designated 2025 wildfires, which includes Palisades, Eaton, Hughes, and Kenneth fires, the bill grants an additional 3 years to apply for the base year value of the destroyed property to a replacement property. So this is on the transfer piece. This is crucial for homeowners who might need more time to rebuild or find a new home without facing a significant property tax increase. So what he said about, Jeffrey Prang said, you know how you can transfer under Prop 19, not 13. You could transfer your property value from one home to another. If you sell one and you buy a new primary home, you can transfer that base so that on the new home, if you buy it and it's $1 million, you don't get taxed on that new rate because you sold your old one, you transfer that. This extends it. What are you doing?
Oh, I forgot you guys can see me. I'm trying to calculate something.
Wait, do the calculation look again?
Right. He was like, what?
It looked like he was trying to recall the conversation.
Like, I'm recalling these numbers. Like, he's like trying to find how many hours, 25,000 hours equals to our podcast per week.
Oh.
That's,
so, anywho, you might want to ask Chat that because you over
Go
here.
ahead. You want the screenshot, right?
Crazy. So, no, it was worse than that. It wasn't even looking like that because you were frozen for a second. It was hilarious. So,
I don't even know what I look like because I'm not even on the screen. So let me see.
And then it extends the time to file for reassessment. So instead of it being, it extends it for 24 months from the date of the fire. Because I think it was 6 months originally or something, but it extends and gives people 24 full months. And then the bill also gives the county assessor the discretion to determine the appropriate date of damage for reassessment purposes, which can be important for accurately calculating tax relief. And then the welfare exemption for damaged property says if a property was already receiving a welfare property exemption in 2025 and then became unsuitable for its exemption purpose due to the fire damage, SB 663 ensures that the property remains eligible for the welfare exemption until it's replaced. New construction is completed or it returns to its prior use. This is particularly relevant for nonprofit organizations or facilities that provide essential services. Because I don't know of any houses that get a welfare provision. I don't even know what that is. I would have to ask what that is. So this one is a little different than the one that the county assessor and Assemblyman Schultz was doing. because if I recall, he said the one they were doing had a lot of this, the extension and all of that, but it also aligned the property tax with any new construction, meaning that 10% or 200 square feet. Because remember, I was hammering about that. You're on mute, Jamal. Okay.
There's the alignment of the building code and the
Correct.
tax
Correct.
situation, tax assessment. Yeah.
And he said, and we kind of think this might be why it was, but there are 58 counties in California.
Yeah.
And all those assessors would have to agree to it as well, which could mess up revenue, right? So we don't know why it didn't pass, but however, but this is important. So we're not going to spend the next 2 or 3 hours because we could go deep in the weeds and go real deep, but we've hopefully given you all some tools this morning for how to look up whatever you need to know if you're not sure about any of the bills that you're hearing, because we're not the experts, like we've said over and over and over again. And if we say something and then we need to go back and correct it, we're going to go to where it is, but we also want to be helpful and give you the resources to go to where you need to go. So if you go to the California legislature, to that ledge info, which is for legislature, legislature.ca.gov, you can find any bill. And if you don't even have to go to chat or whatever. You got Siri or you got a microphone, and all y'all iPhone users, Siri, what bills are there in the assembly or in the California state legislature or whatever, right? Assembly bills or Senate bills that have to do with the 2025 wildfires, January 2025 wildfires. Siri gonna say, because I've heard Siri be checking people. I don't know. I don't have an iPhone, but Siri gonna be like, you want to know whatever, right? They will give you.
Why are you asking about that? That ain't even in your wheelhouse.
Siri, whoever it is that you have, will give you the information, and most likely on your cell phone now, because most of them have AI in it. It's going to be the AI generated information anyway. It's going to spit out a list with a link. You could go directly to it, or you can copy that, paste it in, and say, break it down, right? And then it will give you, like we did the breakdowns and showed you, happy Tuesday, Stogeman. It will say, in essence, this bill aims to do this. The breakdown is this. These are the key points. This is the impact, all of that. If there will be a financial cost, like everything. And so this is where we try to get the information for you, and then also hopefully help you learn how to get the information so that you're getting accuracy, because this is a breakdown and a summarization of the actual bill as it reads in the Assembly or the Senate.
And if I can add to that, this is just a resource for you. And what I mean by that is, this is not where it stops. Yeah, you hear stuff on the TV or when somebody talks about it here and they give a breakdown. Okay, maybe you forgot. Now we're giving you a resource where you can actually go see the actual bill. Tony's giving you a suggestion on how you can actually get it summarized, but it doesn't stop there. This is where we still need to ask questions. Hey, we get a little bit better understanding of where these bills are going. Let's still ask the people who are authoring them or who have some influence, like what's going on with that. Parts of this were a little confusing. I'm not sure that I completely understand this. Can you clarify? That kind of thing. So it's still an ongoing conversation that needs to be had. We're just providing you some additional tools in order to get the actual data that is out there, instead of certain interpretations. Right. The interpretations need to come from those who actually author these bills, or who are their other political figures who actually have this influence, not specifically from us. Right.
And even with that, Jamal, your representative is available. Google Sasha Renee Perez, Senator Sasha Perez, or John Harvey.
Too, yeah.
Yeah. And you can call their offices, and they have a specialist that can help you and help you to understand it. If you do what we're, offering or suggesting, and you still don't understand, literally, there's so much out there. So don't go by, what one person, two person, 5 people say. Find out for yourself, look it up, read it, have AI give you a summary of it. And then if you still need some help, or if you don't like it, you can talk to your representative. They represent you. You elected them to represent you. You go and you say, and it's not one person speaking for everybody. You go and speak for yourself so that your voice is heard. And you say, hey, I'm just finding out about this bill, but I don't like this provision, or I don't like da, right? If you're not in the process when they are going back and forth in committee, they're reading it, they're discussing it, all of that, which, you know, people should get more politically active and involved. But if you're not, don't count on somebody to say they represent you and they're not elected to represent you, but that they're speaking for you when you do have your own voice. You can contact your representatives at any time. You can email them. You can call them. You could call their representative in the field office and let your voice be heard, because that's where it's going to matter, and that's where the changes will happen.
Yeah, we got to do far more of that. People were so much more active generations ago. We definitely need to be more involved. And it's not just if you don't like it. If you do like it, tell them that too. I think it'll be very helpful on both sides.
Absolutely.
But being involved and having your voice heard is very, very important.
Yeah. That's how we move things forward together, right? And even like with the Altadena Town Council, speak to them. It
starts local and grows from there, right?
It has to. Yeah, we can't do it on the big level, but not locally, right? And go to, whether you're online on Zoom or, you know, in person. If somebody has a meeting in the county, at the town council, if you're in a city, to your local city hall, right? Whatever it is, get on these calls like we do. We get on the state, what's her name? Secretary of State calls and find out stuff, right?
Oh yeah, we get on the supervisor's call.
Everything.
And all that stuff. In fact, I was going to go look at something after our show.
And just because we get on it and we bring the information here, we could bring exactly what we hear or the text or whatever. Sometimes, again, and this is why I say this all the time, y'all, my brain does not function like Brian's brain or Jamal's brain or anybody else's. My interpretation, my understanding of stuff is different based on your brain. Based on how I was raised, my environment,
I had a
my
thought.
experiences in life. You were not. You were doing that talking about your brain when I said mine don't function like yours or his.
Yeah, mine had a cross thought. That 2 thoughts came. I had to try to follow them, and the eyes went crazy.
This one is so special, y'all. But a joy to work with on this. So yeah, we wanted to just take some time today to go over specific bills that were put in the chat yesterday and say what they actually are, what the key points are, what the impact is, because we don't want anybody misinformed, whether it's somebody putting something in the chat, including us or anyone else. This is what the bill is. This is what it says. That has nothing to do with the 200 million or any of that. So today is our talk day to talk about it. And that's what we've done. So did we get any comments on this today? No, huh? In the chat?
You know that meme when you be hearing in the background, they scared.
They shouldn't be. No, we want. Look, nobody was mad yesterday. It was such a good, robust interaction, right? And that's what's needed.
We're getting close to the end, right? So I'm gonna make some lighthearted. How can I put this so that it'll really, boil over to people that they can understand that we learned how all this worked when we were in the 4th grade. Underneath West Coast Schoolhouse Rock. So I had
Schoolhouse Rock. We've been talking about that so much in the last month. We've shown it. We've talked about it on the way back, throwback.
Right. Yeah, it's like, come on. So I'm going to end this for copyright purposes. I
do it
cannot.
at the end of the show.
Well, I cannot let the sound happen. So, but I do have closed captioning on. So, if you can see it, there's the bill sitting on the steps. And the little kid wants to know what he is. So he's saying he's just a bill. And I'm only a bill when I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long way while I'm in Senate committee.
But see, wait, go back.
Oh,
Go back where he says committee in session. So that's what happens, right? It gets read. It goes to committee, is in session. They're reading it. They're debating it. They're iterating it. They're changing stuff. And then everybody votes, agrees, and then click play again. It's now the law because the governor also signs it.
But it's a long road, and this is what this whole 3-minute video breaks down for you in layman's terms.
Yeah,
this is what I loved about this, because you remembered it because you could sing these songs, and that's why they came up with Schoolhouse Rock, so that they could actually remember how things went.
And right back there were the local people coming together, reaching out to their representative, and they came up with a bill to solve a problem that they had. So yeah, it's everything we just talked about.
And so he gets all the way here, and now he's stuck in committee. So that's why he's sitting there bumming while the other parties talk about it. And
the beauty of it is, like you said, Brian and Jamal, they did it when we were kids. They showed the little boy as a kid. They did a catchy song, just like, when you watch a commercial, they got a catchy jingle, right? Because here we are in our mid to late 50s, and we singing, I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill, because that is stuck in our head from 5 decades ago, right? When we were 5 years old or 8 years old or whatever, because we watched it. And so we understand it's not just somebody goes and writes something and says, oh, that's it. And Brian, when you called me yesterday and I told you I was at lunch, I was literally lunch with my parents, y'all, and my great aunt, cousin. She's my mama's first cousin, but when you little, everybody's aunt or uncle, right? But she is retired, California state senator, U.S. congresswoman, and ambassador. And so I'm starting to mention it, and I was like, oh, God, no, because she will take me all the way around and around politics because she's done it so long. So I started, and then I looked at her and I said, oh, you know all about all this stuff, right? Because I mentioned to my mom, we were talking about, because we were talking about the show yesterday too. And then I had to shut it down, because if not, she's not just going to give me, I'm just a bill. She's going to give me all the
this
details.
is the part that we should be worried about. Let me just take this back to this part where it said veto.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
In this case, the president vetoes, but in our case, it's the governor.
Governor, right.
And it starts all over again.
So thank goodness that we don't have to worry about that.
Town councils.
Yeah. So if they veto, it's got to start all over.
All over. Go back to committee. That's where the iterations come in.
Look at him. He's so happy they got married. The law.
Very unlikely that you become a law. It's not so easy. Right. The law is like,
yeah, when you got the lobbyists in your pocket, you can walk like this one. Right.
There is that.
Right.
That's a picture for you right there.
Lobbyists now are not just individuals going, they're big money people dropping big money to buy the politician to sway their vote this way. That's why it's so important for us as individuals to say, no, this is my voice, not that person that came to say, oh, I lobbied and got it passed for you, or, oh, we as a group lobbied, but do you really represent me? And if not, then I need to go and lobby, right? Or write a letter or an email to my senator or my assembly person and say, this is what I'd like to see, or this is, this is good, this is not good, or whatever. And then that's when your voice is really heard. Because you can hire lobbyists, or you can get together and have a small group and say, okay, one person go or whatever, right? But make sure that that person really reflects your
and knows what they're talking about.
Your heart. You're right.
All for one and one for all. No, there's no singularity in unity.
I love the end of that one though. You did it. Now you're a law. Oh, yeah.
Oh
That's my favorite part of that. Oh yeah.
You should be able to play that part, right? Just that part.
Yeah, I could probably get away with that. You know, Disney
When he's
be
running down the
digging
stairs.
He's like,
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, baby. I let it do what it do. I'm just a bill.
Yeah.
Now I'm a law, mofos.
So
Say
yeah.
something. Say something.
Yeah, say something. Tiger Woods, my cousin. I can say something. I can say something.
Mm-hmm. That's comedy. No, I think this was very cool, Tony. Thank you for doing this. I think it's insightful for folks. I mean, I know people knew they could go find the information, but now they know exactly where. And I think a lot of people probably use it. I'm gonna use it far more too.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. It's
did your
important.
crash course in civics. Now, if you don't remember, go back to I'm just a bill.
You sound
You
like
guys know I
Granny with the
love
worm.
politics, so I love research, and I'm gonna go find some information. Because then I told Brian something, and when he called me, he was like, "Oh, and and I was like, and then he sent me some stuff
And don't forget this
last night,
this.
and I was like, he
I
was like,
still
"You're going to
that email with all the information. I forgot. I got busy.
Yeah, so he's a sleuth. I'm a sleuth. I know you are too, Jamal, but I get like super excited about finding out information. I know
The
yesterday
treacherous
morning,
street.
even yesterday morning, I was reading my Bible before I got out the bed, and I was like, ooh, oh, no, wait a minute. And so I get to do my research and stuff because I really want to know. Because to me personally, to know, then I can't be fooled by somebody, right?
Right.
If I don't go and research and get the information for myself, anybody could tell me anything. And then we'll have half the country believing anything.
Like 77 million people that voted to actually destroy their own lives. Next on Geraldo.
Anywho, that's the whole point, right? Like, what are we doing to make sure that we are getting the accurate information? And for us, that's our thing. We want to share accurate information. We don't want to just talk out the side of our necks. Yeah,
we have to.
There's too much misinformation out there, and it's too easy for the three of us to go and find it, and we ping each other in our WhatsApp or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, good, that makes sense or whatever. So normally it would be somebody on. There might be somebody on Thursday. I got more follow-up calls to make today, but I thought that this particular segment of Altadena Talks, specifically Toni Talks segment, but it really is all of us today. Altadena Talks, we would do just that, just talk and talk about following up on some of the bills from yesterday. And what I plan to do is a bunch of them, because there are probably 5 or 6. I will make into PDFs just like I did this one. I will get the breakdown and highlight that, and we will put it on our website.
You can make them into infographics too. And we can, for each of them, we can post them as posts.
Yeah, but we'll have them definitely on our website under either forms or blog or whatever. So we can also give that link tomorrow, later this week, to someone. And but anytime you want, you can go there. Because you might read it and then forget, right? And be like, oh man, I gotta go find it again. But if we have it easily accessible in a library of stuff like we do on our site, we'll do that as well. I don't have a problem with that because it's important. And
don't forget that every video that we have, you can go to our website and go to the episodes, and they're all right there. So
yep, and all the info's there. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll be able to after these dates, like July 1st or whatever, maybe we internally will follow up, and when we know something has actually been passed, or if it gets defeated altogether or gets suspended, like that other one, Brian, you had said, oh, that's suspended right now till July 1st, right? We'll do some follow-ups as we find out if these things actually pass. And then about the budget, I had another long call last night, and I was talking about that $200 million.
Right.
and was told. So we know that the governor already signed 100 million. I think that's outside of the 200 million because this 100 million was specifically for the mortgage relief, right? For 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I said again, I don't understand. Like, we're in a deficit, and people, want them to give, whether it's for home rebuilding, whether it's for infrastructure, water systems, all this stuff. And I was told the state is in a deficit, like in the general fund, but every state also has to have a disaster fund. And there is a surplus of even more than that amount in the disaster fund. So they can allocate some money towards that 200 million or whatever. And I said, oh, really? That's new news to me.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
So very interesting. So I've got to do some research on that because I don't know other than that conversation that I had with someone last night. So I'm going to do everything that I can to try to get information on that over the, in the coming days or weeks or whatever. So maybe if we find out that that's the truth and find out what's the disaster fund, what's in it, I don't know if it would be pulled from there. But someone said who I talked to said there is a surplus in our disaster fund that can only be used for disasters. It can't be shifted to the general fund where there's a deficit. I was like, oh, okay. So,
well, we qualify.
Yeah, so we'll see, and if that's the case, look, now he's rolling in and out today. He's like,
oh, I hate y'all. That's funny.
You have a chair on wheels right now?
Yeah, I do.
We'll come in together.
I got Pop Smith asking me some questions.
And we're back. We got to get you a rolling chair, Brian.
I know.
Well, we have to them out here in Vegas.
I don't have too much to roll through.
Yeah, in the closet.
In the carpet.
Look,
in the closet,
I got about.
He'll go like this.
And I'll be like,
boom, on the wall. Stuck. All good. Anywho, I think that's it. Y'all got anything extra?
Nope. Stay tuned because we're going to probably be having some funny funs tomorrow with the Schoolhouse Rock stuff all about civics. So this will be Civics Week. So
civics.
We can actually do, because I didn't see any cutoffs, so they didn't have any audio. So at least you guys will remember the songs. For those of you that are probably 40 and under, you may not be able to take advantage of this in the form that we did when we were young, because we can't let you hear the music. But we'll provide the link so you can go there and look at it for yourself. But as usual, thank you for joining us. We are appreciative of your numbers that you come out and show out in. And when we leave this, actually, I just want to do some braggadocious right now, because we found out something that messed us up. We've been lying to you guys this whole time.
We have not lied.
Not intentionally.
We have the detailed info like we do right now.
Yeah, it's almost frightening to know that lie is like the worst ever.
We didn't lie.
It was not a lie.
We thought that we were giving you the right numbers,
right?
But we were not.
That's a better description.
Thank you.
So we did a survey going back, and each of us has our own channel with this. So as of from January 1st, and I didn't really post much in January except, until the 7th. We've had 450,000 views of this channel for the podcast.
That's bananas.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's the views. The interactions, 18,900 interactions in 6 months.
That's on your page, right?
That's just on my page alone. When we pull all of our numbers and pull them together, it's going to be straight. You're going to see the cumulative effort. And then the audience, I've had 171 people follow since the podcast and 50 unfollow. Those are probably from certain groups that don't like what we're talking about or mad we got some money or something. I don't know, man. It's just
not for us to know.
No.
So mine has 22,796 views on top of Brian's.
Well, wait. I took mine all the way back to January.
I did too.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
See,
Go to custom. Go to
I gotta go to
custom at the
custom.
bottom.
I'm sorry. Yep. Let me go to
Go
custom
to
and go all the
custom.
way back.
Then you go all the way back. Click the first one, and then just pan through with the arrow and click yesterday's
Right,
date.
through today.
And we're doing this live, so you won't think we pasted these numbers up here. You know, just to show you from 90 days, that's 140.
Mine has 50,253 views.
Okay, so that's
On top of
Why
your
am I
500,000,
not
right?
seeing the same stuff, y'all?
Are you under professional dashboard?
Yeah.
Okay, so go right
to
click on
Insights.
it. Right click on the professional dashboard button and hit open in new window.
All right, hold on. Let me go back there.
I didn't
But
even
which
open it.
browser are you using?
Chrome.
Oh,
Yeah. And I have 2,212 interactions.
yeah, no, share your page. We don't want to hear it. We want people to see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. You go ahead and share
1,914
yours.
total followers. I have 346.
Start from the beginning, like from when you're on your home page and where you go. I just
Me?
want to make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Hold
just
on.
want to
one
make sure
second.
I'm going to the right spot.
Okay. Give me
Because
one
I'm seeing
second.
a different format. Maybe mine didn't update.
Okay. So
We might have to update Chrome.
if I'm here, I click right here on professional dashboard. Well, our faces are covering it right now. And
There
then
you go.
I just click on it.
Yeah, it's
then
a whole new setup now.
I go to Insights, click on
See,
Insights
I don't have that link.
and Views. And then here, this says May, right? And it shows
And then you can go
customize. 22,000. But if I go to custom, then I go all the way back to January 1 and all the way back to today and apply. And it shows 50,253 views.
And if you notice, you can see where, go back up real quick.
1 minute views, 755. Hold on, 3 second views, 677. And this is how? By link, video, text, whatever, right?
Where that number reached 4. Go to that
4
highest
million?
one. Go to the highest one you have over there.
Yeah, it's June 18th.
No, that's not the one. To the left of it.
Yes, it was.
No, you was
Keep
no,
going.
it wasn't.
There's a little dot. There's a little
That appears
blue
at
dot.
the top. Just go to the top peak of that one right there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's where I was.
You're
No.
off by 1.
There you
Oh,
go, right there.
4,153 views on June
So-
16th.
So you peaked 4,000. Isn't that crazy? And we all peaked on that day. You know,
And then
we don't remember
interactions
what it was.
are 2,212, and the peak one was 195. Wait, go over one. 201 on May 17th.
But if you notice on her graph, remember that's when you started May. Go to the very first peak on the left. Right there. That's when you first started doing the show on your page, April 2nd.
Right, on my page.
So just imagine if we were doing it on your page before that.
Right, because from that on my page, from April 3rd to now, there's 347 net follows. Oh, I've had 10 people unfollow me. Hey.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to tell you. I'm beating you in that category right now. I got 50 unfollowed.
You know, I love it. I don't even care. So, yeah. So, Jamal, you going to try to bring yours up?
No, it ain't working. I'll go after the show. And then I'll
Okay,
do
yeah.
it next
Yeah,
show.
you might need to update Chrome or Facebook. Oh, that's hard. You can't update Facebook. I think
Yeah.
updating Chrome will do it.
Yeah, I'll try that in a minute.
So,
But-
anywho,
We've almost got 500,000 views. We do have 500,000 views since we started this podcast. That's crazy.
It's a
And
beautiful thing.
yeah, I'm just really, that shows us that people are actually looking. You know what I'm saying?
They're
yeah,
doing
even
this.
if it's not on
looking
here
to the
live,
left, looking to the
There's-
right.
they're still
Mhm.
doing it. And,
They looking. Yes, indeed.
Every day.
and they're getting
every day.
information and hopefully accurate, well, not hopefully, accurate information. Because even if we find out that we are wrong on something, we're going to go get the accurate information.
I
and bring
mean,
it back.
to that point again, in order for us to be in it for the long haul, we got to get the accurate info. Whether we're inaccurate at first or not or whatever, we got to get the correct info because we've said it from the get-go. We're here for the long haul till the last house is built. So we can't just be spitting whatever the heck we want. You know, we got to spit the truth. So
on January 8th, I had 108,000 views. I think that's when I went.
That's when you were
live.
live at the park and crying
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that month, January the 1st to the 31st, 254,000 views. Now I'm going through it by month. This is crazy. Y'all, they're going to love our analytics when they see this. 33,000 in February.
Especially when we start actually applying for grants. Our
Right.
first one, we were just giving. But when we start applying,
24,000 in March.
and when we have had an event or two where we've been a blessing to the community,
46,000 in April. That was because of the Ashes to Anthems. We went live. And let's see. 49,000 in May. Where May 4th was 5,000 views. That's where it peaked. And then June, we ain't even done with June yet, but we'll go to the 24th. And that's 41,000 views in June so far.
y'all, can you imagine? I was just scrolling down where people were telling my parents happy anniversary. 6.5 decades you married to the same person. Good God, my parents are some OGs. Cause baby, I was.
Then they had to put up with all y'all during the progress.
4 kids, 9 grandkids.
My mama said, when y'all get older, I'm going to sow my raw oats. I got things to do. I'm out of here. I raised kids all my life. And I don't blame her for getting a divorce and not wanting to be around kids because, no, seriously, when she was born, my aunt, who's 13 years older than her sister had a kid.
Oh, and she
she had 13 kids.
Oh, God.
So my mom grew up raising kids. So when she turned 18, 19, she found my father and escaped the wrath. And her own mother told her, that was so disloyal of you to just go off and get married and leave me raising these kids. I was like, that's your daughter. That ain't my kid. That ain't my kids. I would have said the same thing. Just saying.
Well, and you know, the difference is too, like women when they got married before, they're married providers or men who were providers, right? Now, a lot of times women are like, I can do it myself, or whatever.
That's this generation nowadays, man. They ain't gonna be long.
Right. But they married differently back then. And I mean, I commend my parents because they have taken their vows seriously, right? Till death do us part. And I ain't wishing that on either of them. But the fact is, like, through richer for poorer, through thickness, sickness, health, all that, right? They're there for one another. They just lost, their home and all that. But they stuck together like glue. Still are. And raised all of us. And, we lost a brother. So even in losing a child and all that. And they've got 9 grandkids and 5 great-grands now. And pretty awesome. So I'm pretty impressed.
This is how we do
it. That's impressive. And you know how we see all these memes, couple goals and marriage goals and all that crap?
All that crap.
No, I'm talking about the memes being crap, not like the goals. But because people put that kind of hashtag on anything, right? Knowing good and well, knock it off. That's why I say crap. And I'm talking about the memes. But like 5 years, that's dope. Anywho, I think we're done. What y'all eating today? Because I know y'all gonna talk about that in a second when we get out.
I don't know.
Something.
I had fun last night.
I'm gonna go with the parentals.
I might go buy some fish and fry some fish, man. I ain't no fish.
Yeah, I heard orange roughy. That sounded good.
Yeah.
Parents don't really eat fish much, but I might find a spot.
That orange roughy was amazing. You know what? I might wind up going to the store getting some. I made some. I had some swai in the freezer the other day, and I cooked that out and made some swai. But that orange roughy, because it's thicker, reminds me of like a cat or something. But it was so good. I had some fish yesterday. Oh yeah, I got fish in there. We went to that restaurant at the beach yesterday, at the Pacific, whatever, on Wilshire and Ocean almost.
Yeah.
Pacific Grill, and it was grilled. But what did you say in your cough?
Leftovers. I said leftovers.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said it's something, but you just coughed.
Well, it coughed while I was saying
It did.
it.
It was, that's what it sounded like.
Leftovers.
Anyway, I guess this is Civics Week. We'll see you all tomorrow with some way back.
Way back Schoolhouse Rock, baby. We gonna keep you on the civics train. Lolly, 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 get your herbs here. But we won't be doing those. It's all civics. We got a lot of civic stuff too. You're gonna learn something that's real simple. It's gonna be real simple. You don't have to worry about
and it's
You
so important
must
right now.
learn.
Yeah, it's just so very important right now because just how our country is, right? And everything that's happening. People need to civically engage, whether it's in a march or a protest or, you know, letting their voice be heard to their representatives, or we're going to be in bad shape. So let's talk it out. Anywho, have a wonderful day, everyone. And you know, I say
Indubitably.
toodles.
All right, everybody. Good to be back.
Peace.
Nice episode. Peace.
Brian.